Greetings humanity, and welcome to Channel Other Doc. I am Jim, I use he, him pronouns, and this is our campaign of KULT Divinity Lost, a horror game by Robin Liljenberg and Nallo, in which the veil that covers reality is slowly being pulled aside to reveal the true terrors underneath. I am very excited. We've had to, unfortunately, we haven't been able to be here for about a month, and so I'm delighted to get this going again and see what happens. We're going to go ahead and go around and say hi to everybody, find out once again who they are and who they are playing. And we shall start. Oh my God, I messed up the cameras. Oh my God. Hang on. I'm going to make sure that everything's
Identity
right.
theft.
Yes, I know. I thefted.
It's not a joke, Jim.
I know, that's true. That's very true. That's very true. But it's fixed now. We're going to start.
You wouldn't print a car.
You're right. You're right. It takes way too long. But we're going to start with Marlo. Hello.
Hi, everyone. My name is Marlo. I am playing Max Collins tonight. I'm not playing Valerie tonight. Just
Yeah.
This is not. I'm not.
Yeah, but wouldn't that be fun?
Oh my God.
Maybe one of those moments where it's like me pretending to be you, pretending to be Val.
Oh no.
That would be fun.
And Val is already pretending to be 50 million people in one person, so
I can do
That's
whatever
fair.
I want. I would have the easy job because I use she they pronouns. I'm playing Max Collins tonight, a kind of irritating YouTuber, but she's getting her voice and she's afraid of nuns now. New fear. Is there a name for that? I wonder if there's a name for that.
Oh, probably.
Phobia of nuns.
There probably is. There probably is. We shall.
What is this? Sceniskophobia?
Nice.
Sceniskophobia? Well, here we go. We learn something new every day. Huh.
Holy crap.
It's a thing. I'm gonna paste it in the Twitch chat. Anyway, yes, I'm so excited to be here after a month. And I'm so excited to be playing with this crew again. I have a lot of fun with this one. So
Excellent. Me too. I'm very excited. All right. And now let us head over to Katy. Hello.
Hi everyone, I'm Katy. I use she they pronouns. I have not been here longer than anyone else because the last time we played I wasn't here. So I am super hyped to be back. I play Valerie Coleman, who also uses she they pronouns. She is a scammer extraordinaire. And just all around C word I won't say on stream. I didn't say it, Jim.
It's important. It's important.
Con artist.
Oh my God.
Said it.
Con artist.
That's what I meant.
Yes, of course. Yes. No,
It stands
that's
for
what-
women's wrongs. Yeah.
Yes.
Oh my God.
Sorry. I'm sorry.
Heavens help us.
Right. So I said it.
Yes.
Con artist.
Standing for women's rights, lefts, and uppercuts. Anyway, let us now head over to Kortney. Hello.
Hey, hi, hello, and howdy. Who am I? I'm Laurel Watson. I'm the doll archetype, former cruise ship singer turned clay daddy and bodyguard, who is still a fanboy of Max. 10 out of 10. What's the word I want to? Employed by Valerie? Or is it more like indentured servitude? Who knows? And admirer of Christopher, but also a hot mess and touched a statue he should have never touched. Laurel's pronouns are he, they. He's not with anyone right now. He's away from all the nun nightmares and he's just chilling and has turned into a ghost multiple times during this campaign. Contracted? Is it a contract? Is it a contract? I don't.
Contracts roll downhill. The contracted contract to contract to contract.
Yeah. You don't make contracts so much as you catch them.
Yes.
Yeah, I guess.
You might even contract them.
Yes.
Oh.
Yeah. And they cause your soul to contract. But at any rate, I am
stuffed a monster down a hole. That's all that matters.
That's
that was
true.
my
We
son.
did. We did.
I had to kill him with my blood. 10 out of 10.
Oh, I don't know if we actually killed it. I think we just closed
No.
the opening to its home.
That sounds worse. Like, yes, I abandoned my child.
Yes.
I'm sorry.
You
I
abandoned your
shouldn't.
child to an oubliette. Be drifting in the various interdimensional spaces forevermore. But you know, things happen. I will be playing Christopher Sands, the artist, who is slowly just spiraling further and further into just as he has to accept more and more about the universe, just sort of spiraling further and further into chaos. And we're gonna just once again as a quick reminder, just a few content warnings. This game may contain graphic violence and sexual themes that are non-graphic, and references to death, drug use, eldritch horror, gaslighting, illusory realities, mental illness, nightmares, physical and mental abuse, religion, self-harm, and suicide. And you can see all that if you are in the chat and you type !KULT CW, that's KULT CW, and that will show up. That will also be, should also be on rotation. As it'll come up regularly. And also, just as a reminder, we have an open door policy. So any of us and any of you may feel free to step away from this at any time if we need to. It is just a game, and mental health is always more important. So without further ado, I shall hand things over to our illustrious storyteller, Hollow. Hello.
Hello, I'm Hollow, he, him pronouns. I am I like to call myself the arbiter because I love doling out interactions from the world. So does anybody want to give us a quick recap as to what happened last time as best as you can remember it?
I did take an alarming amount of notes.
All right.
So what I had as happening last time was turning into a ghost. We were standing outside a hospital talking about what to do next. We were looking up videos. We were watching all kinds of weird streams and footage that we distinctly remember that no one else remembers. That hospital was abandoned and decrepit, but now it's fully functional and people are going in and out of it every day. That doesn't make any sense. I also distinctly remember the stream sniper who was crashing Max's party, and they remember what we remember, but no one else remembers what we remember, because that hospital has been active for like tens of years or something like that, when we always knew it as abandoned. We were trying to set up a meeting to see what further details he remembered. We had a little hideout that was supplied by Val. Everybody was taking a break, trying to breathe because everything was stressful. Chris was at his place crafting a labyrinth map statue thing, like an Ouroboros, like just cursed. And we went over to his house, and Laurel decided everybody needs snacks, and so he loaded up snacks and coffee and like, let's go visit Chris and look at this giant piece of art you made. And it was a full model of the labyrinth, that when I touched it, it made me bleed and it opened up a hole in the ground. So that was cool. I didn't know what to do with the hole, so I threw all the snacks that I brought into it. Everyone is like, what the hell is going on? And next thing I know, a clay thing comes out and I have a son.
Wait, did Laurel just adopt a random child?
Creature? Yeah.
Oh, so it is a creature.
Yeah, it was
yes.
just like, feed me daddy. And I went, I'm daddy.
Feral, feral, Lovecraftian horror, whatever.
Yeah.
Cool. Is Laura gonna have a conversation about like upping their wages because now they have another mouth to feed? Because I'm looking forward to that.
Oh, it's more than one
we wiped
mouth.
blood on the floor and then it closed up. It was several mouths. And Max and Chris were just like, what? And I was like, you know what? I'm gonna go see Val. And they're like, okay, we're gonna go meet with Chris's friend who was impaled, whose name I forget. That was in the first session. They got like stabbed with a doorknob and it was traumatic. And we had the most wild car conversation I've ever heard in my life. Hollow went from being the funniest RP to the saddest, which was very accurate for someone who is zooted out of their mind and sick as heck with a hole in their tummy. And then Laurel goes to sleep, has a nightmare, and the rest of the crew is in the back of Chris's car being followed by screeching flying nun, and Val is nowhere to have been seen. That's my recap.
Yeah.
That's what you missed on Glee.
Oh my God.
Sorry, that was a lot.
Yeah.
This time, Mr. Shu does something wrong again. You know that role was written for Justin Timberlake? Doesn't it make so much more sense?
Oh no. Yeah. Oh yeah, I did read that.
Yeah, that makes a lot more sense with Mr. Shu was Justin Timberlake, because Mr. Timberlake actually has like charisma and can be funny.
I will say Justin Timberlake is one of two celebrities that if I ever saw them, I would fight them on sight.
I mean, yeah, you gotta fight him on sight.
Him and Anna Kendrick, I would just fist fight them both.
But in the world of KULT, so yes, last time you had Mr. Alvaro in the car. It was a weird tense moment between Chris and Acetylene because some things came out about his involvement with the burning of a commune and some allusions to something called the Architect and how Chris has that shine. To use some Stephen King isms here. Something about Chris says he has that shine, and it's something that Acetylene could never touch. But the voices said to do these things, and he just wanted to leave this beautiful, beautiful person in peace. But the voices wouldn't let him. And while all that was coming out, there was this horrific screeching as a nun with oversized hands and ammonia boiled fingers flies at your car and just hitting the back end of the car while you were at the stoplight having this tense moment. Your car fishtails into the middle of the intersection. You narrowly miss getting hit by two other cars into a terrible 3-car pile sandwich. And here you are, Nun, coming back around for another pass. Max and Chris and Acetylene are in the car. However, Valerie, you, after taking an entire cheesecake with you, skedaddled in the morning.
Sorry.
I'm nothing if not committed to the bit.
Yeah. The cheesecake was delicious. You have a food nap. And you awake, or at least you think you awake, to a cherry desk with rivulets of blood flowing under it and a bald man sitting in front of you.
Is this familiar? So, Hollow, you'll have to forgive me because it's been
Sure.
84 years.
Absolutely.
When we were in the labyrinth, Val saw like a desk with chains to it with her, like a contract for her life on it. Is
Yes.
this the same desk? It
It is in fact the same desk.
Okay. Yeah. So why do you have that specific emote, Kortney? I'm very okay.
I'm sorry. It's my friend's emo. I'm obsessed with it, but I do have my own bald men
Oh,
emotes.
God.
Please don't touch me.
Anyway, so she looks around. Is the contract still on the desk, or is it like is there different things on the desk? Is she changed? What's the scene like?
So yes, you wake up here and you can feel the scrape of porous oxidizing manacles against your right ankle, and it leads to a small chain that has turned mostly black in this small river of blood that has been flowing over it for who knows how long. This desk is made of cherry. There's a bank pen, specifically sitting on a little ball chain on the desk, and next to it is your contract. And this bald Lex Luthor wannabe is sitting here, looking at you expectantly, as if they didn't interrupt your sleep or your dreaming.
I sort of lean up a little bit, make myself put together, and I think I immediately look at the contract and then to the stranger and I go, I'm not really in the mood for any negotiations. Sorry to burst your bubble.
They never are. But if I recall, I can call on you for certain favors. Those things may reduce your terms.
Well,
or lengthen in your case.
I'll be honest with you. I don't particularly care about staying alive or dying or not. I've lived a pretty decent life. I
Have
mostly
you?
care about revenge.
Well, we can always put that closer.
She leans back, sort of gets comfortable. So, what is it that you would like to bring to the table then?
I need the Daedalin. I know that might confuse you, but as I understand it, you are quite acquainted with a metalsmith.
It might be a little on the rocks now.
Well, I would ask you to, for your own sake and your own edification, to patch it up. Do what you do best.
So, what is it that you want? Why do you need this? Daedalus?
Daedalin, I need. There are changes happening, ways being opened and closed every epoch. And I would like to see some things go my way. And when things can go my way, it is simple to make things go your way.
Do I know what they're talking about when they say the Daedalin?
He's sort of intimated that whatever it is, Chris
has it.
Or either Chris is it, or Chris has it, or something.
What does this Daedalin look like? Will I know it if I see it?
Oh, I want you to bring me the man. Unless you aren't squeamish, you can bring me his hands.
She nods thoughtfully. And what exactly do I get from this?
Well,
I do like to have my terms in writing. I assume you understand as a negotiator yourself.
I will bring the object of your ire to your doorstep.
I think she immediately sees the face of her ex in her mind, and it's just like flames on the side of my face, that sort of moment.
I know that they have been elusive.
Yes, they have indeed. All right. How do I contact you again when I have accomplished what it is you want?
He places a business card on the table. It has nothing on it, except it's Vanta Black with gold filigree.
Nice. He's gonna get sued.
Oh my God, is this Anish Kapoor? Sorry.
And if you would just whisper to me in a shadow, I will hear you.
Yeah, I think she sort of like hesitantly picks up the card and does a little like, American Psycho, flip it back and forth. Oh my God. That sort of scene. And then she slips it into like her pocket or something and nods. Well, a pleasure doing business with you, I guess.
Always a pleasure. And he snaps his fingers. And when you wake up, you realize you've slept all. He's caused you, or something has caused you to sleep almost a day.
She am I at my house? Am I in my home?
Yeah,
My bed? Okay,
yeah,
cool.
you're home. Yes.
Yeah, so I think she just sits up, sort of groggy, looks over to grab her phone. I wasn't here. Was there any like text or calls to Val? If not, she's going to call Laurel.
You definitely would have had a text saying, "Hey, you good?" Like 2 or 3 of those.
Yeah.
But like kind of non-committal, but like still anxious.
She'll attempt to call Laurel first. And is it morning? Is it like morning time of day?
It is early morning when you wake up.
Cool.
Yeah, you can make your call or you send your message to Laurel. Laurel, you have been trying to sleep, and it's been successful, except for the nightmare part. As a scant message, you are on a rooftop, and you can see the fluttering of crow's wings all about the city. You can see the meaningless lives of people as they churn about, and the most exciting thing about someone's day is someone being scattered across the pavement. And in just those small moments, someone almost lights up like a candle before they are snuffed. A piece of paper flutters in your vision. What's on your text message, Valerie?
Oh, she's calling.
Oh, it's a phone call. Yeah. Okay. Well,
And it's like the burner phone that she gave Laurel, so Laurel will know it's her immediately.
A pigeon sits down next to you in this nightmare scape, and it starts to warble your ringtone at you.
I feel like instinctively Laurel will look at the pigeon and go, "Oh, I wonder who that could be," and begins to like lucid dream and answers his phone by just kind of booping the pigeon on the beak, going, "Hello."
It coos and opens its mouth wider until you can see Valerie's name on the pitch black screen that it makes of its inner mouth. And when you pick up, Valerie's voice is on the other end.
Laurel, are you there?
Yeah, connection is a little choppy, but I'm here. How's things?
I hear Laurel, or do I hear something else? Okay, cool.
You hear Laurel. They sound like they are a little underwater, but so maybe a bad connection.
Where are you?
Well, and then he'd like lean down and look. Looks like I'm on Pine and 38th. Up high.
Oh, okay. I need your help with something.
Yeah, what's up, boss?
I just had a particularly interesting, it's a word for it, a meeting with someone who wants Christopher's hands. I would prefer not to do that, actually. So I sort of need your I guess your advice.
Does Christopher know that a dude wants
No,
his hands?
I sort of thought that maybe I should break it to Christopher. Christopher and I aren't on the best terms right now.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, the diner was a little awkward, but I am glad that some folks were able to eat, I guess. But his hands? Does he know
I
what
don't-
Christopher's hands look like?
I'm not sure what he wants with them. Something called a daedalum. Daedalus?
What?
Is that right? I've literally forgot this word again.
Daedalin,
Daedalin. Okay, I was right the first time. Something called a daedalin. Have you ever heard of that?
I don't know what that is. I don't even know how you begin to spell that. Is that like a statue? What is?
I don't know. The way that this stranger described it, I assume Chris is the daedalum. I don't know. But I would rather not. The thing is, if I do give Chris over, then I get something I want in return. So I would like to sort of skirt around the whole having to Chris potentially losing his hands thing.
What do you get out of this that's more valuable than his hands? Because that's like his whole livelihood. That's like his
Well, I know
vibe.
I'm trying to not do that. I'm
Yeah,
trying-
but like
trying to find
what are
solutions here, Laurel?
what is wait, what are you getting?
Revenge
Oh, on who?
on my ex who put me in this position.
Oh, okay. We've danced around that topic before, so I wasn't so sure. Sorry, boss. Does he know what Chris looked like? Could we just give him any hands?
I mean, the way I get it, this is some like the person talked to me in my dream, so I assume they probably know what Chris looks like.
I don't know. There's a lot of white guys in this town, and they all have hands.
That's true.
A thought.
Okay, we'll just be thinking on it, looking for solutions here. I will see you when I see you.
Okay, well, maybe we can just ask Chris to craft some hands. That's close enough, because then they'll have been Chris's hands in a way, because he made them. How much time do you have, actually?
It wasn't declared. I don't know.
Okay, I'll brainstorm some thoughts, and I'll get back to you.
Okay.
I haven't heard from them in a minute. They were checking out the hospital. I'm not sure if you've seen the messages. I'm sure you might have gotten some from Max, or I don't know. But things have changed since we saw each other last. There's a lot happening. The hospital's here. That's weird.
Yeah. Okay. Well, we'll talk later.
Cool. I'll come up with ideas for hands. I'll do my best.
Please be careful. Wherever you are.
Yeah, I'll do my best. I'll stay away from sharp objects and steep ledges.
Sounds good.
Yeah. Make sure I tell you about the child I had the other day. Kind of wild. And then he just closes the little pigeon beak.
What child? Just yeah, that's where Val leaves it.
So you snap this over wide beak shut, and the call ends. Like, what happens when you talk on pigeons. And as you are, making peace with the fact that you had some multi-mouthed interdimensional child that lives in an oubliette, you see a very striking black-winged nun fly down from a further up parapet, and flies down and careens into the street and slaps a car sideways, making it fishtail in the street.
Does she look like Ethel?
Looks like one of Ethel's friends.
Oh shit. Laurel's gonna be like, I think I recognize her, and then his dream self is gonna do the thing where it like kind of do floats after, because he's gonna be nosy.
Yeah, you're lucid dreaming, you're floating along, you're panning towards the car, your vision kind of zeroes in, and it's Chris's art car that has fishtailed into the middle of the street. And the nun flies around in this hazy dreamscape for another pass at the car.
Am I in range of the nun, like close range?
You are in close range of the nun. The nun has between its ammonia-eaten fingers, it has strung a black chain. On close inspection, it looks like a wrought iron rosary between its hands, like cat's cradle, as it's getting ready for its next pass.
So dreaming Laurel is kind of floating through space, catches up to her, and he's like, oh shit, oh fuck, and does one of these and pulls out the little stun gun he had from before and just goes for it, just tries to bzz the nun. I have no idea what I roll for that.
Well, since you are in a dream, I'd like you to roll soul.
Okay, that's 2d10. 8, 8, 3. I can't do math. 19. I can do math.
19. Chris, as you are, Chris and Max, as you are seeing this nun getting ready to come around for another pass, it's got this string of raw iron beads between its hands, and it lights up like a Christmas tree as this spark from nowhere. It sort of just coruscates across its body.
Not good. I believe, as I recall, last time we had switched, so Max is driving.
Yes.
And,
yes.
So, as I was having an emotional moment, and so like seeing the sort of things with none coming at us, I don't. Yeah, I'm kind of stunned right now, and so I think. Let me see what nonsense do I have available. That might help me right now. Wait, I wrote it down on the other thing. That might help too. Okay. Yeah.
Oh,
Sorry,
by the
go
by, the last card I pulled before the end of the last game was the 9 of Skulls. So just wanted to just put that out there.
Oh, 9 of Skulls.
So
Yes.
that shockwave did it seem to like slow her down?
A little bit. They're a little off kilter right now. As they're just kind of like they've got this string of raw iron beads, and they're
I'm gonna try to get the car going
sure.
to try to get away from her. Is that in line with something you want to do, Jim?
Oh yes, I think getting away would be an excellent idea.
Great. Good to know. Let me see. What do you want me to roll?
What I'm trying to think of what would physicality be?
Reflexes?
Yes, that would be good. Reflexes would be excellent at trying to get away from the nun before they gear up for another pass.
Is it 2d10?
Yep. Well, it's yeah. Plus your stat.
Oh, okay. 9 and 8 is 17 plus 2. 19.
All right, cool. So you have some options there on your reflexes there.
Oh yeah, let me pull up I forgot that there's like a whole move sheet. What a lovely thing. Let me get it pulled up. I know it. Did we pinned it, right?
I do remember pinning it, yes.
Oh, that's the whole core rules. Yikes, I'm sorry, y'all. I thought I was more prepared.
No, you're good.
Is the move sheet in the rule book?
Yeah, I pulled that up. Let's see. We got the moves.
Yeah. There
Where
was
did
I
it go?
thought, yeah, I think we did. It's just, if,
What are you looking for?
Yeah.
The
Yeah,
Player
move
moves.
sheet.
The sheet
Oh,
with the
here.
moves.
There you go.
Ah,
Sorry. And disassociated a little bit. There you go.
Would you put in Zoom?
it's in yeah. It's in the,
Oh yeah, this one. Sorry, my bad. Thank you, Katie.
That's exactly what I was looking for. Thank you.
yay.
Let's see. What do we have?
You were trying to avoid harm.
Okay, so immersive. So basically what I'm trying to do is get the car in first. I mean, I'm assuming it's a stick.
Yeah, probably a stick. I mean, it's Chris's car. Chris, is it a stick?
Is it a stick shift?
Okay. It is an. Ooh, I think it is probably a stick because it is an older Cadillac Eldorado.
Okay.
It was one that I had to. It had to be a bit beat up and older. So I believe it must be.
Perfect. It's been a lot of years, but my first car was a 73 Volkswagen Beetle, so I know how to drive a stick. So Max learned to drive a stick as a part of a video she had to make one time, and it was really funny and she failed a lot, but she ended up actually learning and getting pretty good at it. So it was kind of a cool thing, but it was driving a sports car sort of thing. So it was like she's trying to learn on a sports car of all things. So she learned how to drive and peel out and do all of this stuff. So she slams it into first gear. She pulls off that clutch, pushes on that gas, the tires squeal. You hear her, it sort of does a little bit of a fishtail as it takes off and finally zooms off down the road on the least populated road she can find, so she can swerve in and out of places and people and things and hopefully not hit anybody or anything. I didn't see anything specific that it wanted me to do to avoid harm, so.
Yeah, well, at 19, you completely avoid harm. So right now, you are in this particular part of the this situation. You have peeled out in the way, and you have the nun in the rear view mirror. As cars are honking because of these. Nobody else is really reacting like a black-winged nun is in the middle of the street trying to kill you. People are just honking because you fishtail for no reason into the middle of traffic. Weirdo.
Why would you do that?
Why would you do that? Are you driver? Are you the wheel person? I don't think so. Like, God, I missed that game. Anyway, so you have a nun in the rear view and the blaring of horns as you are driving away. Laurel, the art car is driving away.
I'm very afraid of this nun right now.
This nun is super unhappy with you. The nun will actually, I will use one of my unique GM moves called Speak Prophecy, and you'll need to keep it together.
Oh boy.
And as the nun says, and the Daedalin shall craft the ways. With their hands, they will build for all, and all will be one here. But those who help them, will be master of the channels.
I
That
rolled
doesn't sound good.
I rolled a 12 plus 0, so I feel like that's going to make him deeply uncomfortable and kind of scare him a little bit. And he's gonna want to back off, so his pursuit is definitely gonna slow down a bit.
Yep, you can choose one of these things. You can become angry or sad or scared and gain a -1 stability, or guilt-ridden, or you can become obsessed with whatever caused the condition in you, as you did not quite keep it together. or be haunted by the experience at a later time.
You know what? That haunt's gonna bite me in the ass. Let's have it haunt me.
Excellent.
What's another nightmare?
In a nightmare.
We can go deeper. Blah. I'm sorry.
The nun, satisfied with your humbling of this truth, will fly straight up to try and find the car as it flies, as it is peeling off.
Yeah, I think Max is trying to zoom into side streets, trying to get out of view, you know, like when you're going too fast and there's a cop coming the other direction. And so you're trying to take whatever side street you can and go down the next side street and the next and become inconspicuous. So that's her intention in this car, to become.
Yeah, I mean, that's very difficult to do in this car.
But trying to like go, you know, like behind buildings, in alleyways, like back off behind things.
Okay. Valerie, as you are at home, it's your home's like a super posh apartment, super posh house, super
Apartment, like
Excellent.
penthouse type of apartment.
Excellent. At your penthouse apartment, out the window, you see a black form shoot straight up and then try to dive bomb down towards the street level.
I'm just trying to decide if Valerie's gonna be nosy or be like, not my problem.
Hey, either way, just letting you know.
I think she sees it. Yeah, and that is a lot of strange things have been happening, but it's still relatively pretty strange. So she just like stands up from her little breakfast nook with her cup of coffee and goes over to the window just to look down and be like, what might that be?
Well, you see a great deal of traffic becoming backed up as a car, some kind of car, is just kind of, you don't have like a great scene of like, you know, what car it is, like, or see it as Chris's car because you're so far up, but something is like weaving through traffic back and forth in both lanes down some alleyways, and that's caused some major backups as people have had to slam on their brakes, and of course, you know, traffic and people act much like a fluid when it is blocked. Weird physics thing, but anyway. As you see traffic start to cascade backwards into a backup around town.
I immediately look at my phone and I want to like, Val is, you know, very social media focused, very savvy. So I'm immediately like searching hashtags and such for like city traffic backup, car accident, that sort of thing. Just seeing if I can get like a better sense of what's happening down below.
Yeah, well, it all, you know, about 2 minutes ago, somebody was complaining about some asshole fishtailing in the middle of, you know, of the street, and you know, it nearly hit a bunch of people.
Is there a better picture of the car?
Yeah, because, you know, people and their phones, especially in this terribly narrative world of cult, people and their phones, and yeah, you do see the back end of Chris's art car.
Yeah, that is that sort of reaction, just a heavy sigh.
That's right, you weren't here when we described the art car. It basically has it has what looked like girders, not unlike meant to look like Eiffel Tower type girders, like around and across it, basically, as though the car is also a building in some way.
That's very fitting for Chris, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, she just sort of like rubs her temples and sighs. And then I think she's like probably one of those people that like her pajamas or like look like regular, like very fine silk clothes, you know? So she just pulls on a coat and I think she leaves and is going to go try to figure out what's happening if she can. And as she is calling Chris not expecting an answer because apparently he's in a fucking run. He's being chased by the cops, but she's gonna try.
Speaking of cops, you do have one motorcycle that you have gained in this sort of haphazard driving, Max.
One motorcycle?
Yeah, one police motorcycle has decided that you are worth its time. Strange thing about this police motorcycle, though, is that the helmet on the police motorcycle has a small rack of horns right on the front of the helmet here.
Great. Just what I needed, more heat. Max is still trying to do her thing in this El Dorado of all things. Trying to maneuver, trying to remember, because when she did this video years ago, she took this, it was like a stunt driver that taught her on a sports car, right? So she's like got pedal to the metal, trying to jerk and turn and get out of the way of things. So I'm gonna try to keep avoiding harm, trying to get away from both now this cop and hide from this nun.
Okay. Yeah.
Let's see what we can do here. That's 15, 17. Hell
All right.
yeah.
All right, with your reflexes, you manage to do some actual fishtailing, and the cop trying to trail you loses his way as you turn down another street as you e-brake, and the El Dorado goes down another way.
Tokyo drifting in an El Dorado.
Fucking initial D over here.
Max starts monologuing about family, how important it is.
Yeah.
I live my life a quarter mile at a time.
Oh my
time.
God.
For those 8 seconds, nothing else matters.
Oh man.
Oh no.
Well, yep, that happened, y'all.
Yep, apparently. I need to see those movies one of these days.
I sat down my partner to watch all of them. It's like, you haven't seen these? They're awful. You gotta watch them.
A lot of fun. A lot of awful fun.
One of these days, that's what my partner wants to do. He wants me to watch them in the narrative order, though, and I don't think I could handle that.
No, just straight up, just one to also Triple X had to toss that in there too.
Oh, that's love. Or Stockholm
Wow.
Syndrome, one of the two.
It's a Venn diagram of something.
So you are down in the alleyway. You're kind of hiding from the nuns, and then the cop who was trailing you, who had weird like bull horns on the front of their cop helmet, which is like weird ornamentation.
I'm gonna just glance in the back. Is Acetyline okay?
He is freaking out. He's kind of like breathing hard. And Laurel, what you saw was a minotaur on a horse chasing after the car.
Whoa, that's sick as fuck.
no.
I'm sorry. That's so sick. I'm sorry. I'm into it. The horns are coming back on. Sorry. It turned me off when you said it was a cop, but I'm back on board, baby.
I think that tells us which cop, possibly.
Yeah, it was a much younger looking minotaur. The minotaur you fought in the labyrinth was much older.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Maybe I should have let him catch me. Oh.
So Laurel wanted to pursue the nun and interrogate her, but after seeing this minotaur, feeling some kind of way, and rushes this beast.
Yeah,
He's trying not to be too excited, but listen.
The Minotaur looks around on their horse, on this like giant stock horse, just snorting as it's looking to and fro, casting its head about, trying to find the art car.
So Laurel's gonna try and what's the thing? Influence him and just be like, hey, Brian, yo, Brian, and just is like, what are you up to? Stop, wait, and just like yells at him, trying to get his attention. And like kind of shake him out of this state. And Laurel's also going to try and will himself to also resemble a minotaur.
All right.
And it's just going to lean into this. I have no idea what you need me to roll though.
The first thing would be your influence, and you can you have that on the move sheet to try and influence someone's behavior.
I rolled 15. Oh, sweet. So he stops. I just want to stop and acknowledge that I exist while also looking like a minotaur, because I just think that would be both sick and nasty.
Yeah, so you can choose 2 options below. One is they're motivated to do what you ask, and you receive a +1 for your next roll against them. And they're worried of the consequences if they don't do what you ask. So they immediately snap their head to you as you kind of assume this regal Minotaurian presence. I don't even know if that's a fucking word, but I did it.
It is now.
So it is now.
I just picture him blinged out with like piercings, ears, nipples, nose, and all, golden as shit. That's what I'm picturing. That's the dream regal minotaur aesthetic. And Laurel is still kind of like floating above, so he's trying to look incredibly godlike. I'm hoping this is incredibly convincing. And he tries to put on his best godlike voice, and he's like, hello, subject. What brings you here today? What are you in pursuit of? Answer quick.
Lord, we must find the Daedalin.
The Daedalin?
We must find them. We must find them before the Crow sisters.
Speak plain. What exactly is it that you seek? Specificity.
We need the hands of the architect, the one who shines.
And for who gave you this mission? And Laurel's like, oh my God, does this sound regal enough? Do I sound like a god? I have no idea.
But it can't. They look at you and they're so free to like, but it came from you, Lord. It came from you through the mouth of my father. It came from you, Lord.
Your father has very ill intentions. Perhaps he told you wrong.
But he speaks. No, but he speaks. But no. Oh, what can I do? What can I do?
You know what? How about you escort me? Because I am rather weary. Take me to where we usually speak.
Yeah, of course. Of course, Lord. As they are afraid of not doing what you ask, they are. They will bow in obeisance and like literally walk you as they get off this fucking horse, put you on the horse, and walk you downward to the labyrinth.
Oh boy. I feel like I should also just snatch a pigeon out the sky, and like hide it in a loincloth. Just in case. Here's my phone. Can't leave without it. I hope it has GPS tracking. Drop a pin. I don't know how we do that with a pigeon, but that's what's going through Laurel's mind, and he's going. Oh no.
You manage to stuff a pigeon in your loincloth. No, regular things.
If I catch Brian looking, I'll know. and then he'll have defied me. You know what? I'll lean into it. It's fine. It's fine.
So for now, you are safe. You've received several phone calls from Valerie, Chris, and or Marlo. Don't know who exactly they were calling, but I mean, also Max. Didn't know who they were calling. It's probably Chris. Maybe they can tell us.
Who knows?
Yeah, I think she's only called Chris.
Okay. Yeah. So I think that we're sort of like, I'm going to look at my phone and I'm like, oh, crap. Are we like sitting and waiting in an alley or something, or are we driving around,
Yes,
or what are we?
You are. You currently are trying to get your stars down, waiting in an alley.
Yeah. Okay. Just sort of like looking. Just kind of. I've been trying to calm acetylene down, and so I'm just sort of while I'm doing like. Okay. You be all right?
Oh man, just wasn't expecting that.
You know, me neither. Did that thing want you or me?
I think they wanted you.
I mean, they might have wanted Max, maybe. But...
Maybe Max. I don't know. I didn't feel like it was here for me.
Oh, okay. Has this happened to you before?
I mean, I see stuff sometimes, and sometimes it ignores me. Sometimes I could ask questions.
Oh, great. I have so much to look forward to. Okay. All right. Okay. If you can be okay. I think we got a second. I'm gonna go ahead and I'm look at the phone. I'm like I show Max that if Max is available right now, I show Max that I've been getting apparently a call from Valerie, and then I'm like, I'm gonna try to call her back. Just to, I think probably maybe find out.
I'm fine. We're good. This is all good. I mean, we got away from the cop and we got away from the nun, and
yeah.
I just hope she's all right.
Yeah, that's kind of my thinking. I don't want to answer, but also it could be an emergency. So at least not right now. I don't. There's so much going on, dear God. And so yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and call Val back.
I think at this point, Val has made it like outside to the sidewalk and is sort of like glancing around at the chaos that they've left in their wake.
Yes. Yes, very much so.
And when she hears her phone ringing, she immediately picks it up. She sees it's Chris and immediately picks it up. You having a good day?
Are you okay?
I'm fine. I was enjoying breakfast, and then you and Max, or I don't know, Max is with him. Sorry, you were on a run from the cops.
Oh no, that was a Minotaur. Well, actually, I don't know that was a Minotaur. I kind of do, but I don't. I was like, no, oh no, that was well, yeah, a cop with that wasn't really as big a deal as there was a nun. That was the nun was the problem. Another one of those nuns showed up.
Okay. Are you all right?
A little shaken, but it's we're hiding from the nun and the cop right now. We're just sort of waiting to see what they do. They haven't turned up yet, which is a good sign. I'm not really sure what to do against a spectral nun creature thing. It's a kind of a new experience.
I might know why they are chasing you, though.
What?
Yeah. There's some I can't exactly. I don't know all the details. You're a very wanted person right now. Your hands specifically, but I think that maybe that includes you as well.
Wait. Who wants my hands?
We should talk in person.
Do you still okay. Okay. Do you have a safe house type place, right? That's what Marlo told us.
Yes.
I'm trying to reach him. Reach them.
I talked to them this, a little bit a while ago. They seem fine.
Yeah.
But yes, I do. I'll send you the address.
Could we? Yeah, because I think it'd be helpful if I need to also. There's someone that I need to bring in who kind of is a target, possibly also, right now.
Right?
And so, if you don't mind terribly.
No, that's fine.
Yeah. Thank you.
Yes, I'll send you the address and I'll meet you there soon.
Okay. All right. Thank you. I'm glad you're okay. Yeah, I'll say.
I'm glad you are as well.
I just hang up.
If I was like, who the fucker's hanging up on me today? I don't like it. She'll send Chris an address. I imagine she has little places all over the city.
Oh yeah.
And it's probably one that's very discreet, like on the waterfront, very industrial.
Mhm.
Has a place that they could stash the car.
So I'm gonna turn to Max. Okay, well, we're gonna dress for a safe house if we want to try to regroup at all. How soon do we have to meet with conspiracy theory guy?
Oh yeah.
That was around noon. It is still very early morning.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah, I was figuring on. I was originally thinking I was trying to get sort of that set up before we go and have that meeting. I was thinking maybe.
Whenever I honestly if I didn't know any better, I think I was having a heart attack.
Oh God, are you okay?
Yeah, I just I'm not, this is not me. I'm not a risky person. I don't take risks. I don't drive like that. Like I
Okay.
don't
Do you want to swap again?
Can you
Yeah.
get us out of a situation like that again, or is it better if I
I mean, actually, is there a specific let me look-
Reflexes.
Reflexes. Oh. I mean, I am not as good a driver as you. I can say that fully.
okay.
But at the
I
same
can
time,
do
I
this.
don't want you to. But if you're not okay to drive right now, then I don't want you to
Yeah, let me just
get hurt.
take a breath.
Yeah, sure. No, absolutely. I mean, we still need to hide for a little while, probably. So, I think we'll be good. Probably.
Yeah. Do we need to regroup with Laurel?
Hmm?
Do we need to regroup with Laurel?
Yeah, I've been trying to reach him. I tried texting him. I can try calling again. See if that might be a good idea.
Yeah, let's she's just like sitting there, both hands like white knuckle gripped on the steering wheel, just breathing and not even looking over at Chris when she speaks. She's just like looking straight ahead. Like I imagine like at just the back of a wall of a building, restaurant, something, whatever they're behind.
Yeah.
Yeah, you are in an alleyway behind a Denny's.
Nice.
Yeah.
Let me get some moons over my hammy and then we'll go.
Yeah, I'm sure they'll. I'm sure that'll be perfectly fine. Do we do we need a minute? Do we need to?
Yeah, I gotta do
break here?
something real quick
Sure,
downstairs. Yep.
absolutely. Well, why don't we go ahead then and go to break if we're good with that,
Cool.
and and then we will proceed with our connecting things up and figuring out how to hide from the clergy, especially
And everything else.
Yeah, and everything else. Because I didn't know the clergy had an aerial division. Okay, so we're going to go to break. We're going to have I have an interview plugged in. We'll see you after a bit.
All right.
Welcome to the break. I am here with Kimmy of Golden Lasso Games, who's going to talk to us a little bit about this gaming venture that she's undertaking. Greetings, welcome.
Thank you. So excited to be here.
Yay, awesome. Very excited to have you. So this is, I guess, tell us how about Golden Lasso Games and what it is and how it came about.
Well, Golden Lasso Games is an indie game house. Very, very indie. Very indie as in like one person, me. And so it's a woman-owned, run, everything mailed, everything person company. And basically it started because I started seeing some friends of mine who, after playing RPGs for a really long time, started designing their own. And I was like, okay, that's amazing. And I never really thought that would be me until I got this idea for a game that I wanted to make. And I feel like this is a story that many gamers are familiar with. So I realized that me and my friends, but when we were all starting campaigns, would all do this mishmash of all these different games to kind of do a session zero where the players got to help create the world with us. So we'd grab pieces of like Microscope and like PBTA character connection questions, even if we weren't playing a PBTA game, and we'd use like the Quiet Year to like create our setting. So all these games. So, and that's what I was doing. I was pulling all these things from all these different places and kind of pushing them together. And I was sitting there one day and I was like, why don't I make a game that just does all this? Because all those games are amazing and I love them, but none of them are really designed to world build in the same for a campaign. So all of them are tools for their own games. And I was like, someone needs to design a game that does all these things, but is system agnostic and setting agnostic. So you could use it for any system like D&D, PBTA, whatever you want, and for any kind of like sci-fi or fantasy or anything like that. So I started thinking about it. And at first I was thinking about maybe using like regular cards. And then eventually I was like, tarot cards, of course, tarot cards. Like, it's like kind of like reading the future of your campaign. I'm not someone who like necessarily believes in the mysticism of tarot, but a lot of people do. And I do believe that there's a lot of insight there. As you are like looking at the cards, it makes you really kind of tap into like thoughts and things you may not have been aware of. So I love that. So I created a game called Decima, which is lots of different prompts. It creates your location for your campaign, including NPCs and buildings. It creates connections between the characters. So players come to the table and the GM runs it for them, but they come to the table with characters already mostly made. And then they suddenly you'll get a whole bunch of drama and backstory between them. So there's no more meeting in a tavern. And then the last thing it does, like group dynamics. So like, okay, our party's been together for a while. What's our reputation? You know, do people like us? Who's an enemy of our group? Who are our rivals? So it sets up all this amazing stuff for the GM to then, like, the campaign basically writes itself from there. It's such a great, fantastic thing. So it's all based on tarot cards. And yeah, we started with, I did a Kickstarter in February of 2020. That was great planning, right? For a card game that needed to be produced in another country. Well, I thought it was until, 4 weeks later. But anyway, that's a whole nother story. But it went really, really well. We raised like almost $60,000. And that was kind of the launch of Golden Lasso Games. So it was really fun.
Excellent. There's several things to talk about here, actually.
Yeah. So much.
One of which is that I will say that as folks who watch this channel probably already know, I am a big fan of doing that whole thing at the beginning during a session zero where you brainstorm with the players about stuff that's going to be happening in the campaign, because it gives them so much buy-in on it. I think it makes for much more interesting games, both for the GM and for for the people, other people playing at the table.
Absolutely.
And so it's very cool. I think it's really awesome that you put out this game that sort of encapsulates your process for it. I happen to have a copy of it here.
Ooh, how
This is
pretty.
gorgeous. It's gorgeous, though. It is. You got.
I'm very proud of it.
Who did you get for the art for this? Do you?
My friend Samantha Terry, she's an incredible artist, and she also plays games on Happy Jack's RPG. We're really good friends. We met each other cosplaying and have been friends and cosplaying together for, oh my gosh, forever, like 9 years now. And she's just a fantastic artist. She's done work for Blizzard and, Warner Brothers. Like, she's a professional designer in real life and does art and a lot of textile design. So if you bought, Star Trek leggings, you probably bought her stuff.
I mean, you just look at these things. These are freaking gorgeous.
And you
Gorgeous.
see, and one of the neat things about the connection with the tarot cards is there's prompts on both sides of the card. And if you know about tarot, when you are doing a reading, whether a card is upside down or is inverted or right side up, it means different things in the tarot reading. So all the prompts are actually kind of in ways connected to the meaning of the card and also connected to what it means when it's inverted or right side up. So, which was just, it made, honestly, like, I'm a teacher, so writing a million questions wasn't that big a deal. It's like my life. But having kind of that guide, it made it so much more interesting to actually write.
And I think it's really cool how you've set these up. I actually I used these cards for for our off stream session 0 that we did for the mini campaign Top of the World that I did toward the beginning of this year, 2022. For those of you watching later, it was a paranormal spy campaign that I was doing, and it was great actually because it was a very cool way to instantly connect all of the different characters, and actually make what they were doing matter all that much more because of what they did, especially in that genre. Everything you do affects everyone else.
Yeah.
So this game really helped to encapsulate that really well, and so thank you very much for making this.
Thank you.
This was quite good. But in general, for Golden Lasso, do you have any other major things coming up? Or any new projects, things you want to do with Golden Lasso that might?
We have a couple of things. So the very another game that I've designed is already up on our website as well. You can find it at goldenlassogames.com. It's called Virgins and Vixens. It's a very rules light story game about breaking the tropes of women in lore and myth. So you've got like the tropes of like the damsel in distress or the evil hag. So it's got a set of tropes like that, and you start out the game very much in that trope, and then as you level up, kind of you break out of that trope and you become more of an individualized character. So It's very rules light. It's like sort of PBTA inspired, but even lighter than PBTA. It's a very rules light system, and it's very fun, and it's great for kids. Actually, I've really enjoyed running it for kids because they start off as, oh, I'm gonna be Snow White, and then like they slowly like become like this awesome like individualized character who's and it's so much fun. I love it. I'm very proud of that system. I wrote it in a week for a game jam, and I think it was one of those things where it was like the time crunch and like getting it out in that short of time just was like this beautiful like little masterpiece. So it's been very cool. And there's actually like a company in Spain who's picked it up and like produced a Spanish translation of it and things like that too.
Oh, brilliant.
Yeah, it's very fun.
And I just have to say, it's really awesome hearing that you're also doing that to help subvert these tropes for children, because this is also when you want to, I would think you want to start introducing this kind of stuff to them. So that's brilliant, and also that means it's important. So which I mean, actually all manner of games are important, but just that's very it's very cool to know the very important thing about this one. So yeah, I highly recommend folks check this out. Where should folks go if they want to find your stuff?
So go to goldenlassogames.com. You can find all our games there, including the ones that are up and coming. I have another game called Starscape that's in beta testing right now. And then I have one called Mains and Magic, which is another kids game that I'm designing. It's going to be very rules light. It's about unicorns. I'm basically designing the game that I would have wanted as a kid. So it's you start off as baby unicorns with like elemental powers, and you slowly get more powerful as you go looking for your adults. So that's going to be very cute. And actually the character sheets for that are also coloring pages. I'm very excited about the art for
nice.
that one. They're super cute.
Oh, that's
I really
awesome.
just was like, what game do I want to make to play with my daughter? Okay, unicorns. That's it,
Brilliant.
unicorns. Yeah.
Brilliant.
So goldenlassogames.com.
Excellent. Go check it out. Thank you very much for stopping by. And I'm now going to throw things back over to my future self. Please take care, folks. We will see you all of a sudden. We have returned. And I think we're... I went a little too epic for that one, didn't I? I don't know why it keeps happening.
No, shit has happened.
Shit has happened.
Shit has happened.
Yeah. We were.
So,
go ahead.
Yeah,
I would like to say, as Val is going to the safe house, warehouse, whatever, she is texting Laurel to let Laurel know where we are. I like the address and everything.
All right, under your loincloth, you're.
Does Brian look at me when that happens?
Oh no, he's kind of just like trying to keep his horns down, look away.
Okay. So Laurel's gonna try and like kind of silence that really quick and just say, "Boy, how much further until our destination?"
Perhaps not long, Lord, not long.
Address me by my full name, and do not look at me. Stay your course.
Of course, Great Horn, of course.
I'm sorry. And then Laurel's going to take that as an opportunity because, eyes are off him. He's going to pull the pigeon out of his loincloth and just text on it, which I'm guessing is like cute little pets and massages,
Yeah.
Like some T9 word on this pigeon.
Yeah, you're like roiling around. It's like, it's chest fluff.
Pull out its wings to read incoming messages. Like I figured that's how a pigeon phone works.
Yeah.
I was going to try to
pigeon phone.
I think I was going to try to call you in a minute, but I don't know if that's going to be good or not.
just over here petting this poor pigeon very aggressively.
Yes. Yeah, whatever you are texting goes through, oddly.
My message would be like, "Hey Val, something's come up, and he's gonna try and take a picture and text it to her." I don't know how you do that. Like,
all right, so
look down the back of the
so
pigeon.
You actually have to turn the pigeon's head almost at a 180 to get the camera eye to actually take the picture. Right.
Sorry. This is the worst thing I've ever done. I'm going to some headquarters because there's another group who is seeking Chris's hands. The nuns, I guess, are called the Crow Sisters, and I look like some guy named Greathorn. Shrug emoji.
Val just texts back thumbs up. That's all you get.
Yeah. So this high def mega pigeon picture that they send you is of a very hirsute Brian Fury walking with shirtless, walking astride a horse. And what you see are the under tunnels that were under the neighborhood when you all were down there.
So this is a place that Laurel hasn't been, but we have before.
Yes.
The tunnels. Okay.
Yes. And that's what the this high definition mega pigeon picture gives you.
So Val does text back a thumbs up, but I think she also adds in, "Hey, you're underneath the whatever neighborhood junkyard or whatever." Just so Laurel has a sort of idea of where they are on the above ground.
Cool, because I think my signal's probably getting a little weird. He's trying to figure out how to do share my location with this pigeon. It's not really working.
Yeah,
and then
pigeon's not good at that.
Yeah. But I think he realizes his tone might have been a little harsh, and he's like, I need to keep Brian on my good side instead of scaring him. And he's trying to come up with a conversation. He's like, "Dear subject, perhaps my tone was a little harsh. I am incredibly cranky. Can you remind me? I've been a little out of sorts. What have we been doing lately? What has been our mission? I I cannot seem to recall. Apologies for my previous tone, though.
No, my lord, it is fine. You, we, you have only brought edicts, and we have only been interpreting your commands as is your will. We have built across the city. We are at odds. We are at odds with the Cloven Hoof clan, and we are and the Crow sisters.
Oh my god, Cloven Hoof clan noted. What were our numbers at last? How many of us?
There are 10, but they are young. Only my father and I are the eldest here.
Oh no, Laurel's gonna be on the side of the Minotaurs at this rate. I'm just letting you know now. Foreshadowing. Oh god. I'm sorry, I'm switching allegiances so hard right now. So are they safe? Are they hidden? Are they away?
They are safe for now. They are growing. The young are growing.
How many have access to our space here in this labyrinth?
Well, only 2 have found their rage.
Okay. Well, as soon as I came, I feel I must depart, but do keep in touch. Here, use this. And he would give the pigeon to Brian, and Laurel's going to try and force himself awake.
Sure. You wake up. There is a curtain of hair along your ankles, as if you were a hoofed being.
Oh hell yeah, just like real life. I'm sorry, it is No Shave November.
Yeah.
Laurel's feeling some kind of way. He's got this intense sympathy for these creatures who are just protecting their babies. What kind of service plan do you get? Oh my god. And goes to look for the burner phone that was given to him by Val, but I feel like that was also the pigeon. And I'm worried that
No, you say you have a burner phone.
Oh, thank God. And I'm going to group FaceTime Val and Chris and Max, who I'm assuming Chris and Max are going to share a phone. And give them a rundown of what I've seen, but leave out the part of where I sympathize with these Minotaurs. There's the Great Horn Group, Cloven Society, and the Crow Sisters. Assuming everyone answers. Sorry, I jumped the gun here.
Yeah, I was about to call you, so that works.
Yeah, Val is like clearly in the back of a car, and it's just like, I did say people are after you.
You so wait, so there are like 3 groups?
I spoke
Like
with
2
some
Minotaur
folks
groups?
from the Cloven
and
Hoof
a-
Society didn't sound like a Minotaur group.
Oh,
I didn't inquire further, but
right.
they're small. There's like children involved, and there's not a lot of them. They kind of give last of their kind vibes.
Oh, geez.
I didn't want to inquire further because it seemed pretty heartbreaking.
Wait, those are and are those the Furies?
Yeah. Brian, the guy we saw at the party, he was there. The guy that gave me this, and then Laurel flexes, I got to use this today, and holds up his little stun gun.
Well, you were technically underneath Brian's house.
It was very weird. That place goes deep, you guys. I'm not sure if you knew that. It's kind of big.
Yeah, it's very big. If it's what I think it is. Oh crap! No, wait. If they actually do they have physical tunnels under the city too? Is that what's happening? Oh my god. Okay.
I was pretty far deep. I tried to drop a pin, but service was bad. And then he posts the photo he took and sends for Val to everybody. Was like, I should have shared this with everyone. Sorry, I was a little nervous.
Hard to make a group text on a pigeon. Rough shit.
Yeah, it's fair. It's fair.
So
what-
this society or whatever, Cloven Hoof, they're factions. They're different factions. That's what I'm gathering here.
I was trying to figure it out, but Brian seemed distraught, and I didn't want to push it further because I just
Right.
insulted him and took his horse.
Okay. All right. Do we think the Crow sisters are the nuns?
Oh yeah, they had these like wild wings. Like I electrocuted one of them. She was very mad. She said something about we must have the die da 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 da. I don't know what she was talking
what?
about. She just was like yammering on, and I can barely remember what she said. All I know is it was really fucking creepy.
Daedalus, as it haunts you in your head as you are, just kind of
So
recounting the tale, the words, the Daedalus.
I have a question I need to ask our illustrious storyteller.
Yeah, what's up?
So Jim knows who Daedalus is.
Mhm.
Does Christopher know who Daedalus is?
Yeah, I mean, you've heard of Daedalus. I mean, it's hard to, especially as a person who works with metal or works with anything. It's hard to to get away from that kind of context. Yeah.
Yeah.
Sure.
Okay.
Who Daedalus is?
So Chris is like, and I want my hands because, and he just sort of looks over his shoulder again for a second at Acetylene. He looks back. Daedalus. They think I'm like Daedalus.
Who's that?
Who?
He's an architect.
Didn't he build the labyrinth?
Yeah.
So not like some brutalist thing? Like what?
I mean, I
I'm
guess it depends
sorry.
on your interpretation. Brutalism was probably a little bit later.
I mean the
but-
labyrinth, like the one from the mythology, right?
Yeah, that's yeah. As far as I know, I mean, I'm not an expert on mythology or anything, but I mean, I know that much because, I mean, you get into the kind of work we get into. That's.
But that
It's
makes
hard to
perfect sense
avoid.
because that model you made.
Well, I mean, I was just copying what was already there.
Yeah, but how could you have known in that sort of detail down to scale in that length of time to make this thing?
Yeah, but I didn't build the big one. I mean,
Are you sure?
Maybe another version of you did.
Did
I
you
like to think I
did you take
remember that.
did you just like black out for a week and build a whole thing? Because you built that model in I'm just thinking about the time scale here.
I mean, things got kind of. I mean, I don't remember having any particular blackouts of things like that. I mean, things got kind of distraught around a few years back, but it's when I came to the city here after that, and just started getting more into my work. But I mean, that's after I'd already started sculpting. I didn't build a labyrinth.
I guess.
I mean, maybe they think that I'm like inheriting something. I don't know. There's got to be more people than me who do these kinds of things. Aren't there? I just sort of say, kind of a little bit trepidatiously at Acetylene.
I mean, only so many people can wake up.
Sorry, I slept through my mythology class. Are you saying Chris is like an ancient? I don't quite follow. Laurel is an idiot. Forgive him.
And I think that it's just, I mean, I see stuff sometimes, and I think we've all been seeing stuff lately. I think we can agree. So I don't think it's just me. It's like sometimes there are people, who will see stuff, and if they happen to also, maybe if they like to build stuff, then that might come through that way, I guess.
Wait. Wake up? Wake up from what?
We're all asleep. All of us are asleep. only some of us ever crack an eye. But some of us, the voices tell me that some of us, if we were to wake, it would be so beautiful.
Oh, regardless of what is going on here, there's clearly three very dangerous people after Christopher. So we should make sure he is all right and safe. And keep your hands in your pockets. And Val's going to hang up.
Wait, because I'm hoping we're still in this call, and it's just that like Val left the group call.
Val,
Okay,
Val
cool.
left the group call.
Chris, who's entitled to the labyrinth? Do you think they're fighting over that? Like, what is this?
Well,
They want
it would make sense because like we saw that nun in there. Before actually, I think that was was Ethel the choker nun or was Ethel a different nun? I can't remember anymore.
Ethel was the choker nun the first time, but now looks like they got other choke nuns.
Okay, so they have
hooray.
New Silent Hill monster, the choke
More
nuns.
choke nuns.
Yeah. They've opened up different skill trees within the nunnery. Okay. So it'll just sort of be like, so like they were interested in the labyrinth. And I mean, it sounds like, okay, so when did, God, we need to, has enough time passed that we could possibly start heading to the safe house? Is that a...
Sure, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah,
absolutely.
I mean, we need to regroup and kind of talk about this, but...
I have so many questions about who should be there, because like, I do remember reading about a labyrinth being guarded by a minotaur and stuff. Like, who
when did and I just sort of will again say over my shoulder to Acetyline, when did you do all that contract work to build that underground part just in that neighborhood?
I've been doing it for a few years now. It just it was steady work. The money was good and just...
Oh, it's like, how much is there?
It's a lot. It's a lot. There had to have been other contractors before me.
Yeah. So like, I mean, but it was, it's within the last, like, 20 years, right?
I mean, yeah. I mean, sure. I mean, the parts I walked have been done much, much earlier than I ever got to see it. I've only been working on it the past few years, and I was connecting these tunnels to the neighborhood.
Okay, I gotcha. So yeah, maybe there's something. I mean, there might be something that goes a bit of a ways back to to this city at least. The city has had tunnels under it for a while, but the labyrinth myth is a lot older than that. So I don't know if they're trying to build something here to kind of focus what they get from the labyrinth there.
I don't know. I remember
with it or something.
The plans had some really weird, exacting, instructions. Like some of them didn't make any sense, but I mean, I was getting paid, so I just did it.
Sure. No, it's fine. I just, we just want to know so we can figure this out. Because like, okay, so like maybe they're trying to get in tune with something, right? Maybe they're trying to sync up the labyrinth under the city more with the labyrinth in that place that we went. Sort of what I'm thinking. Like, because you know how the sculpture put us in touch with something else? I think maybe the tunnels under the city are kind of like that on a bigger scale, maybe? Does any of that make sense?
That seems really heavy.
I mean, that makes sense. That makes sense to me.
In touch with something else, what? Like what?
I don't know what it was that I talked to, but I mean, I felt like it was we we had like two distinct entities that we were. Remember back in the apartment, there were. Okay, so there was the one that we're aware of, the one that was in that void oubliette space, right? That we fed the muffins to.
Uh-huh.
And then there was something talking to me through the sculpture.
You think it was the labyrinth itself?
I don't know. Maybe? But it seemed okay with giving me the information it gave me. I'm not sure.
Do you think we should hide that sculpture? That seems like it's not super secure at your place. If everybody's after your hands, they probably know where you live.
That's a fair point.
I'd
How
go
f-
retrieve it, but we all know what happened last time, and he gestures at the little cut on his finger.
How far are we from my place versus actually, yeah, we hadn't even started going.
About,
yet, right?
I mean, you if you get to the safe house, it'd be a 40-minute drive across the city.
I'm just trying to figure out if on our way to the safe house, if we should swing by my place and pick up the sculpture. That's what I was trying to figure out. Or are we already there? Where are we and what?
If you decide that you want to be at the safe house, then you can be at the
Okay.
safe house. You want to say you are en route there and you want to make a detour, we can do that too.
Okay. What do you folks think?
I mean,
I don't
fair,
know.
fair point. It communicated with us. It might be useful in the very
Okay.
least.
It also
Okay,
seems
yeah.
incredibly dangerous if touching it can open holes, and the
Well-
holes have hungry things.
It was your blood that did it. I mean, you just got to be careful not to prick yourself on it. That's kind of
You
important.
made a very prickly statue, my dude.
No, I was trying to be accurate. Okay. Yeah, so if we can, Max, would you be okay with us just sort of swinging by my
Yeah,
place and I'll...
your car, your gas.
I feel like this is kind of important, so, well, if we're going to the safe house, we'll go ahead and grab that, and then we'll go to the safe house, and I guess we'll figure out what the hell we're doing.
Yeah. Absolutely. Max takes the turn.
Max takes the turn.
See you there. And then Laurel hangs up and then texts Brian on the burner phone and says, "Be well, my dear boy." Just a word of encouragement from the great horn.
I love that you can get motivational text from an anthropomorphic manifestation of an overlord minotaur.
I want nothing more in my personal life.
I know, right?
That sounds so sick.
Motivational minotaur texts. Somebody needs to make that happen.
God, that would be so good.
All right.
Self-care, but like mildly ominous.
Mildly ominous.
I used to run an alt Twitter that did that.
Oh, please. That sounds so good.
I'm gonna have to find it again. I haven't done it in a long time.
Also a reminder to folks to take your meds. I almost forgot.
So if we can't, if we get there without incident, then I will try to go back up, pick the sculpture up carefully, and bring it back into the car and all of that. If we make it there. If we do not make it there, then we will see what happens.
You do make it there. And as you are approaching the house, all of your phones start blowing up with like your various social media notifications that you have access. I think Chris might have access to the least of them. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I'm not on a lot of social media, just like forums mostly.
But the card I drew was the Demiurge, which is the lost ruler of basically everything, God, essentially. So when you draw this card, you always draw a second card to show how its power becomes manifest. So I drew Binah, who is the Archon of community. So as you are getting ready to walk inside and retrieve the statue, there is this outpouring of text notifications and push notifications on all your phones. As who is the Daedalin is kind of like, the hashtag Daedalin. Who is the Daedalin? Like that sort of starts popping up on social media after a viral video showing the state of downtown by your favorite snipe blogger talking about the truth.
I love that dude. Sorry.
I think while we're walking, because there's no way Sam's gonna let anybody be alone right now. Let me say Max. Sam and Max.
Cool. Remember that game?
This is really good. Max is like looking at this, trying to like follow what this guy's saying to see if he knows who it is, because they're gonna meet with this guy.
Yeah, they obviously don't know. It's like I saw it. I saw a winged nun, and they were looking for the Daedalin. I don't know what that means, but they went back to roost at the hospital, and I know it has something to do with everything. You can't smell the truth. You can't put my light under a bushel. You can't smoke me out.
I like this guy. She's like watching it. He's way closer to the truth than I think anyone is giving him credit for, even people who maybe believe in this stuff.
Yeah, so like he's just like kind of like, who is the Daedalin? That's like, he's already set up a website, whoisthedaedalin.com. It's a forum site.
I think Sam's gonna come on. Sam, God dang it, why did I just start doing that? What the heck? Max is gonna come on and just be like posting randomly in the comment section, just like random people. Like, I bet it's Ted Cruz. Like, I bet it's I bet it's Obama. Like, it's just like,
yeah, it's definitely got like one of those like, Zodiac killer like, website vibes, like
perfect. Ted Cruz, perfect. She's doing this to like throw random things out to kind of hopefully keep him off the trail of who it really is, because she doesn't think that it's good for him to know this, because he's probably not going to shut the F up if he knows.
No, but he does. But you do get like a counter post, like, the last time Ted Cruz was in this city was blah blah time, and that doesn't like match up with this. This guy is like just red threading your replies, like.
So we're heading up to the apartment.
Yeah.
To try to get a hold of this. Is the Seedling coming with us?
Yeah, he doesn't want to be alone. Or, he's like, unless you left him at the safe house, he does not. Oh, so you haven't gotten there yet. So
that's right. Yeah, no, because foolishly,
he doesn't want to be alone. This.
Okay, all right. We can figure. Oh God, I have to wonder if my apartment building is the type that it just has the stairs and there's there'd be like this is not a rich person's apartment building, you see. That's the thing. So they let me use like a section of garage. They have that. That's what all the money was on. So we'd probably have to like get him up the stairs.
Oh, he can walk. He just
he can? He's okay.
It just hurts. Like he's on like he's so zonked down painkillers though. So he's like,
Okay. All right. So he was I was worried when they brought him out in a wheelchair. I was thinking that we'd have to transform him. Okay.
He can walk. Just that once his pain medication wears off, ooh, boy.
Oh, that'll be fun. That'll be great. So yeah, okay. In that case, then we're okay. I think he can come in. Sure. As long as he doesn't touch anything. Just tell him, just please don't touch anything. Not right now. When we get there.
Okay, I won't touch anything. I won't touch anything.
And it's for your safety.
Anything and nothing touched. All right.
And I guess we'll just sort of go in, unlock the door, go in to get the sculpture from like that back like desk or counter that I put it on.
All right. So you are able to get the sculpture with no issue. Just that your phones are blowing up. Everybody's phones are blowing up about this Daedalin thing, even yours, Valerie, because you're very socially connected. A lot of social community has kind of like built itself around like, this like, this guy out here trying to like Fox Mulder his way, across the internet. What if Fox Mulder was a blogger? That's like what you got here.
Bold of you to imply Fox Mulder wouldn't be all over 4chan and Reddit underneath a throwaway account.
I mean, sure,
He would have
but like,
multiple throwaway accounts.
but that's like
too.
that's not like his whole personality isn't blogger. Like, what if Fox Mulder was just a vlogger person? Like cram all his conspiracy nonsense and his energy into just doing this.
I feel like his biggest rival would be Fiona from So Weird, because she used to run a blog like that. Shout out to the best show Disney ever did. Why isn't it on Disney Plus? I'm sorry.
True.
I think we just carefully carry it down to the car. I'm going to put it in the trunk because I don't want it sitting in the back seat next to acetylene.
Why do I picture you having it tied up in like a bundle, like in blankies?
Yeah, maybe. I think, I probably would have wrapped it in something.
Oh yeah, it tells you thank you as you bundle it up and put it in the
that's
car.
good. That's fine. You're just looking out for you. Oh fuck. All right. I have to do a thing. As I'm putting it in the trunk, I'm gonna have my hands on either side of it. I'm gonna take a second, and I'll just sort of kind of be like, hey, any advice on what to do when a flying nun attacks you?
You should find a sword.
Does it have to be a special sword, or just a regular sword do?
You have hands, architect.
Yeah, I can make a sword. Okay. Good to know. Thank you. It'll be a little bumpy. We'll get you get you somewhere safe. Close the trunk. And I'm just going to just sort of almost mechanically, I'm going to turn, just be like, all right. I'm going to go and just sort of like open the car, sort of sit back down in the passenger seat.
Were you conferring with your model?
Yeah, I got to make a sword.
Oh, that's rad. Hell yeah, a sword. Oh, that's going to be so cool.
Yeah, I can do it. I mean, I'm not a smith, but I know smiths, so I know how to kind of. So yeah,
I like the smiths too.
They're okay.
So you are able to get things back. Valerie, were you meeting them at the safe house?
Yes. On the way there, Valerie was going to stop and pick up donuts and a carafe of coffee.
I just became my most favorite person.
I think it's gonna take more than donuts and coffee to make Val Max's favorite person again.
That's true.
Yeah. But as you are leaving, there is a person outside accepting donations, and they just tell you, "We will thank you when this is all done." As you are walking out of the shop.
Val does hear it, but she acts like she doesn't. She doesn't acknowledge it whatsoever.
Okay.
Woman's wrong. Strike again.
And yeah, she's gonna get back in the back of her car and continue to the warehouse or safe house, whatever.
Cool. All together again at a safe house. You, a bundle, a broken up guy, and the four of you.
Val has I think she gets there a little bit sooner because y'all made the pit stop to get the statue.
Yes.
So like when you get there, it's like a very industrial open floor plan type of warehouse type of thing. Like clearly spent way too much money. She spent way too much money to rent it. But there is like on the kitchen, the bar, there's like a big box of donuts, coffee set up, and she's sort of just leaning against it on her phone, like completely enraptured with whatever's on her phone, doesn't even look up when y'all enter.
This is a nice place. Does it have a forge? We have to make a sword.
Why would my place have a forge?
I don't know. It just seemed like it was a lot.
Wait, why do you need? I'm sorry. And she like finally looks up, tucks her phone away. He's like, why do you need to make a sword? What is that? And points at the statue because Val hasn't seen the statue.
Covered, it's covered right now as we're carrying it. I'm like, oh hey, this is Liam.
Hey.
You might remember him from a little while ago.
Didn't you get impaled?
I got better.
Oh yeah, I did. I paid for that.
He's not feeling. He's not going to feel safe going back to his house for kind of obvious reasons. So yeah, we're gonna try to figure things out. I'm just gonna kind of look around. I'm looking for somewhere. Do you have like somewhere safe I can put this?
What is this?
It's a labyrinth. It's a little one.
I mean, you can leave it here, I guess. A lot of space.
I mean, if
here.
there's, yeah, okay. I'm just gonna look around for somewhere to put it down. Gotta be careful with it. It talks sometimes if you pay attention, and it's been giving some pretty good advice so far. It's in touch with something. I don't know what, but look, there's a lot. I know there's a lot going on right now. Are you okay, Valerie? Are you okay?
I'm fine.
That's what I thought you'd say. Okay. We'll talk later. All right. I'm gonna start untying the bundle. So you can see what we're talking about here, I guess. Just sort of unwrap it, and you see this metal model of the labyrinth, complete with a place where the desk and the tree is, and then there's a spire. And,
yeah, she goes over to it and is like not getting really close to it.
Yeah.
She's sort of standing behind Christopher.
Be careful not to. You want to be careful if you're going to get. It's a little spiky in places, so we found out the hard way that if you prick your finger on it, you can open portals to other places.
I wonder if it's a portal to it. Like if you create like a, because it's like, it's got some kind of connection to it,
Oh yeah,
it's like a model, right?
given figuring it out, yeah, we might be able to, if we wanted to go there, we might be able to do something, but I don't want to put too much, I don't want to put too much stress on whoever it is we're talking to. Who's been very nice to us about preserving what we have, I hope, as far as being alive and stuff. But yeah, it's kind of like I'm thinking of it as kind of like a CB radio to contact another thing, and this other thing is kind of resonating with the labyrinth. And so we can pick up on those resonations to kind of help figure things out. They've been very helpful so far.
Does it
But-
speak whenever? Because I don't remember it talking.
Well, you might
didn't
hear it
hear either.
whispering, possibly. But
Oh
I
yeah,
don't
a little
know if
whisper. Mhm.
I mean, it might talk to you. I don't know, but that's
Laurel's gonna lean into it and just say, "Hey, buddy."
Oh, hello, Great Horn.
Yes. Hello. May I ask who this is?
I don't know. Ask my maker.
How did you know who I am?
Lies resonate the best.
Interesting. I don't think I've been deceptive. And like Laurel's like sweating and then turns and goes, "You made this, right?"
Did I hear its responses, or was that a?
You did
more
hear.
private
You
con-
did hear its.
okay.
Yeah, you know.
Okay.
You heard its responses.
All
Yeah.
right. I mean, I was like, I was copying what I saw before. I was trying to, just I built this. Yes, I built this.
Does
This
it have the
model.
name? It says you know its name.
Oh. Sort of. I think for a second. Would you like a name?
Makers tend to name things.
It's true. We do that.
Laura leans over. I think it's a little piece of shit, personally.
No, they're fine. They're good. They're good.
This guy's fine. We'll go.
Katy says name it Clyde.
I know, right?
My go-to name.
It's a good name. Clandestine. I can't turn that into a Clyde name.
How do you feel? How do you feel? Let's see. And he thinks about. He takes a minute to think about it because he knows that naming is kind of an important thing. And how do you feel about the name The Quandary? Do you like the name Quandary?
As you name this thing, your hands start to itch and they grow striations of metal in them.
Ah.
Valerie, he is shedding copious amounts of skin all over these wonderful carpets that you furnished this safe house with.
I think Valerie's eyes sort of go wide, and she immediately reaches out and like grabs Chris's hands and sort of holds them steady. What's happening? What is going on here?
Yes, as you grab his hands, they have the feeling of something in mid putrefaction. As sloughing away, there is bone and metal underneath. That's not the only thing itching, though. Max, your neck is itching.
Oh no.
And Liam's chest is itching as he scratches and scratches frantically as all this chaos in the room. And Laurel's just kind of chilling, doing her thing. And he bends over backwards as Ethel's face sort of morphs off of his chest bone in this creaking, cracking noise. And she says, "Oh, hello, dears. Smells like the daedalin is ripe for the dehansing."
What is your aim, Miss Ethel?
I just want a piece of the way, like everyone else.
What does that mean?
As Liam's hands split down the middle and small acid washed hands emerge from them. And Ethel is stepping through as if Liam were a corpse portal towards you.
Can I charge Ethel with my stun gun? I'm just I was hired to be a bodyguard, damn it, and I'm gonna guard somebody's body.
All right, make a reflex roll.
Oh boy.
As you are trying. Actually, no, would it be reflex? Let me double check. That should be, we should be sure. We should be sure. You are trying to engage in combat. It would be a roll plus violence.
Oh, okay. Well, I rolled a 12 and my violence modifier is 0.
All right. From 10 to 14. You do shock Ethel, but you spent all of the charge in the stun gun as the battery goes dead.
Damn, it's a shit stun gun.
Since Ethel is unprepared and sort of like caught off guard by Laurel's attack, Val drops Christopher's hands and grabs the nearest thing to her, which is probably like some sort of very weird looking vase or something. And I want
it's the sculpture. That's the nearest thing.
Can I pick up the sculpture?
Absolutely.
Okay. I just didn't know
no.
like how big or heavy it was. I'm going to slam it down on top of Ethel.
Please watch your fingies.
No.
Going to use my backstab because she's unprepared.
Absolutely.
Through my pain, I am calling out, "No, don't!"
That's a 15.
All right.
I am going to hold on, my thing is being weird. I can't get it to go down. I'm going to deal +1 harm to whatever normal base harm that she'll get, and I'm going to knock her out, so she'll be unconscious.
All right. So when you stab down with the spire on Ethel, you actually stab through her mouth, and she recedes. And you have pierced Liam through the wound he already had. This probably won't kill him if he gets some attention, but he's definitely now impaled on the ground with the spire of the sculpture in his side, as black water begins to run from the wound.
Yum.
Did I not? I just said, don't let it prick you.
Did it prick me?
It did not prick you, but it sure as hell pricked the shit out of Liam.
She looks back at Christopher like wild-eyed, like, I was careful.
My need is, and just sort of as I'm kind of, I don't know if, well, anyway, some kind of like got this happening. Things are, I'm just like, his blood's being transformed. It's going to turn into a portal. If we're not careful, we may need to use his blood to close it.
Laurel takes one of the coffees from earlier, takes the lid off, dumps that shit, and goes to catch blood because that's his immediate thought. He's moving quick.
All right, you are moving quick as this black water is flowing out, and you can see not a dark space, but a space with liminal light, a space that twists and winds that is opening beneath the puddle that Liam is forming under his body. You see the labyrinth.
While this is going on, Max's neck is itching, and she's very concerned about this situation. So she's going to walk to the nearest mirror.
Oh, something definitely. It's like a wound healing under your skin. Just black and blue and red all modeled around like someone made a vicious grab.
So she's like just kind of like looking at this happening, like this sort of thing that just happened, and is just like gaping and like she doesn't care about the spire or the blood or anything. She's freaking out.
Do you have a med kit?
Yes, and then I think Val will go
Help him.
grab like a first aid kit from underneath the kitchen sink.
All right, you grab the med kit from the kitchen sink. From the pipes, you whisper, "Push him in, bring him."
As she's like coming back, listen. As she's coming back, just very casually asks, "What happens if someone goes in the portal?"
I mean, that's the labyrinth down there, so I mean, you know what happened last time.
So I think that I will get
Yuri probably is going to hunt us down there.
I will get relatively close to Liam to make it look like I'm helping. And if it's with everyone, I would like to slyly, stealthily push him in.
Is Ethel still sticking out of him?
No, Ethel receded. She was knocked out by the move of the stealth attack.
Yeah, I mean it's with me.
Yeah, I don't want to do it if someone's uncomfortable with it.
Yeah.
I think it's fine. Laurel was too busy trying to scoop up his blood to close the portal.
I'm definitely okay with it.
So
I'll roll for it. What
Okay.
would that be like? Actor under pressure, so coolness, or
yeah.
I'm just imagining Laurel like scooping blood, trying to smear it to close this, and not even noticing that the body's gone. That's what I'm picturing.
Oh my god.
I rolled an 18.
Oh yeah, no, he definitely didn't see that shit.
Yeah, no,
2 8s on my dice.
Yep, just fell in.
Oh no, he fell in.
Liam!
You could so easily pin this on me too. That's what I'm anticipating, actually.
No.
Thank God.
I'm just gonna act like it was like a complete this is Val's bread and butter. She's just acting like it was a complete mistake, like an accident. He moved when she was trying to help, and he got sucked in. She has like a look of horror on her face, like she could win an Oscar.
Absolutely, you fucking nailed that shit. As Liam's body just happens to slip through the portal.
I think Max turns around just to see him falling through. What? Acetylene, what did you do? What happened? Where'd it go? Oh my god.
Oh,
She like
man.
scrambles over, like one to try to grab onto him, but she's
Yeah.
way too late. Like she's
Yeah.
across
Does the
room.
portal close when he goes through it?
No, it just it hovers open as he falls, and then it's like he's whisked away on a current of air.
Yeah, Val stumbles back because she doesn't want to get caught in it. She has no
Yeah.
interest in going through that portal.
Laurel holds the cup and is like, okay, I know he fell in, but does that not close it? Does he have to? How does this work? And he's
No,
just
it's-
holding
I
up
mean-
the.
I mean, I'm trying to get an angle so I can see if I can see him or if I can see where he went.
Yeah, he's floating along the air, and but he's definitely traversing the labyrinth, almost like watching like a pinball being pushed by air. It's kind of
no. He just got yanked away really fast.
Yeah.
Should we follow him?
No, absolutely not.
Should
I don't know. I mean,
you said he moved when he fell in? Is he could still? Is he?
Yeah, I mean, he didn't want any of this. Gotta get him out of there.
What I mean, we really gonna go down there? Because I mean, he had a nun in him, and there were nuns down there. And if we go down there, there's gonna be more nuns, maybe, and a very angry bull daddy. And I'm not here for that.
Actually, that gives me a great idea. And Laurel sets the cup down and walks away. I'll be right back, and like wipes his hands off, and he just gonna make a phone call.
I mean,
boop, 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 boop.
I mean, we're absolutely not prepared for this.
Yeah, as they are talking, you make your call, Laurel. Yeah. Yes.
Yeah, we all know who I'm calling. Yes, the situation seems to have gotten more complex, dear boy of mine. The Crow sisters have infiltrated the mortal plane and are in deep pursuit of the hands of the architect. And like Laurel's like checking his notes on his phone, and he's like,
when you say that, like, all you hear is this resonating from the labyrinth.
oh boy. There have been bodies that have desecrated this safe space, this haven we call home. And he's like, did they call that home? I'm making assumptions. Because he did a Google and he got the Wikipedia for like minotaurs and labyrinths. And he's like, this seems right. I kind of remember this. And I feel we need to act. How about you, my dear Furies, align yourselves with the people and work together with the architect. I've seen things.
We will bang the drums. We will awaken the rage of the young.
Excellent. Thank you, dear boy. And then he hangs up and he's like, yo, Minotaurs are on our side. So we ain't got to worry about them. They're on Things have happened, Chris. You've got your hands. I've got a hot bod. Don't worry about it. It's my fantasy. Some things have happened. I feel we have one less group to worry about. I still don't know much about the Cloven Hoof cult society, whatever. But we have allies, and I've instructed the Minotaurs to not hurt you. Yep.
What?
Don't worry about it.
Did you go through like a rite of passage or something with them when you?
I guess. I think I'm a god now. It's kind of sick. Don't no questions. Let's just take this blessing. And then Laurel winks at Val because Laurel's like, I'm more powerful than you are, and is feeling kind of smug on the inside.
Okay, we're not in any. I don't think we're in any condition to go down there right now.
I think it's okay. The Minotaurs are in charge of that place. I feel like we should just go.
When you say the Minotaurs are in charge, you hear a double bass like of drumming, and it sort of like it's like if someone were in the sky drumming a double bass. It is incredibly loud, and you can hear screaming over the city.
I'm going to go to like one of the. This isn't like a building up high, but it does have floor to ceiling windows and like a pretty good view like across the river. And I'm gonna go like see if I can see what's happening.
You see red columns and red mist pouring over certain parts of the city.
Is this supposed to happen? Was this on anyone's itinerary? She just sort of points at the window.
It does seem less than good.
It can't be good. What? Does anybody have any idea what's happening? Oh, hell. Is the sculpture still with us?
Oh yeah, it's hovering just over the hole where
Like-
where it was briefly impaled inside of a person.
Okay. I'm gonna go over to the sculpture. Okay. First of all, are you okay?
Oh yes.
Okay, good. Sorry about that. There's this red mist outside. I'm wondering if you know what that's about.
Oh. The Great Horn Clan is going to war.
The Great Horn Clan is going to war. I just say, just sort of looking over at Laurel.
Have you just made a call to arms, Laurel?
Maybe? I just
Who
said
are-
for them to help us out.
Who are they
Against
going to
what?
war against?
The Crow sisters? I did say that one of them attacked us.
Okay,
And
so they're
then-
gonna,
You know,
a bunch of Minotaurs are gonna head to the hospital and kill a bunch of nuns, is what we're...
I mean,
Possibly.
they don't. They seem
try
to
to
not
kill a bunch of nuns.
always look like minotaurs when they're out and about. But yes, maybe.
I see. Well, it's obviously affecting whatever... Is this... I'm going to turn back to the sculpture. Is this a thing? Is this a thing that... Is this a good thing or a bad thing? Do we know?
What is good or bad is where you stand, Maker.
Right. I would prefer if the people, the human people living in the city not get hurt.
Well, you might be crestfallen then.
I see. Okay. Is there, in your opinion, any way to avoid that happening?
Gain control of the ways for yourself. Be
The
no one's
ways.
pawn. Be no one's pawn.
The ways of the labyrinth?
Yes, Maker.
How does one gain control of the ways of the labyrinth?
You must align the final connection with the Axis Mundi.
Okay. What's the Axis Mundi?
It is what you would call the newspaper, the place of eyes and masks and faces.
Laurel immediately shoots a look at Max and then realizes the thing on her neck and then is mildly concerned, but like,
It is talking for the room now, this sculpture.
Ah.
Since you've leveled up to having, fucked up hands.
Eyes. The newspaper. Wait, like... Are we talking about a place that aligns here? Is that... Can you...
It is a wall of masks and faces. It stares.
All right. And that's the location of the Axis Mundi.
Yes,
In,
Maker.
I'm presuming that's in the labyrinth.
It is in town.
It is in town.
Maker.
Town.
Maker.
Wall of eyes
The
and face.
place
Do we
with
know
all
what
the faces. We made that. I can't remember what it was. We made a place like that in the beginning.
yeah,
Did we?
yeah, we
Oh.
did. It was like in the walls, kind of like
Yeah,
mask and
many different
whatnot.
faces.
Oh, yes,
Yeah,
you're
that-
right. Yes, there's a building that has that's like,
oh, it's
okay.
so good. It's based on the Chicago Tribune building with all the
Yep.
rocks.
Yep.
I know. Okay, I think I know where you're talking about. So, how does one perform the alignment? Would I just take you there? Is that how that happens? Do we?
You take me there. There is a ritual that you will know when you are there.
Gotcha.
It will come to you. Be no one's
Okay.
pawn if you wish to win.
No one's pawn. And
Well-
Chris is just going to be like he's and he doesn't want to touch anything right now because of his hands are like still, whatever they are, and he's just sort of like, I didn't want to do this. I didn't want to be like this. I've been trying so hard. I just wanted to give things of myself to the world, and he's just saying this to nobody in particular. He's kind of turning and trying to say it sort of in Val's direction more than anything else. And he's like, have I been a pawn this whole time? Am I just a pawn? Is that what's happened? That's what happened, isn't it?
Val is doing her best to look neutral. I think you are the type of person who gives, like the saying, you light yourself on fire to keep others warm. A lot.
Well, the positive that there being a war between these bullmen, minotaurs, and these nuns is that it's a good distraction for
Yeah,
whatever
it
it is that we're
is.
trying to do.
It is.
I would like to remind
guess.
Christopher does know this, and Laurel also, and maybe Max, you do. There is like a demon also after you
Oh, he's a demon.
that wants me to give you to him, and I would rather not do that.
At least there's only one of the demon, at least.
I was thinking if you have some control over the labyrinth and its occupants, perhaps that will give you an upper hand.
Yeah.
I did say there are a lot of people in this, a lot of players in this game.
I see.
I will say the Minotaur group is not as big as you think it is. They're kind of young. They're kind of green. I think that's what they
Uh-huh.
call it, green. I've watched a few fantasy shows in my time. But also, we do have the power of a very influential individual. Laurel looks at Max again. We could try and ally them with more folks to trust the Minotaurs, because I did tell them to be nice to mortals. It's just the Crow sisters, whoever the fuck they are, that they're after.
Right.
Well,
that-
didn't Liam, before he died, say something about being awake? And if we're in the awakening, normal people may not be awakened and therefore don't see minotaurs. They'll just see people exacting violence on nuns.
They're gonna see. Well, yeah, they're gonna see a cop and his dad beating
Okay,
up
I didn't think
nuns.
that far ahead. You're 100% right. Oh no, the optics of this. Ah, fucked up. And then Laura like freaks out and
I mean, I mean, I'm not sure if we want to be on
What
their
if-
side. I don't think there's a good side to be on here. Maybe we should just go over there. What?
What if the problem is not the optics? What if we could change the optics and people could see what we see?
How do we do that? Because I really don't want them to kill all the child soldiers I think I just made.
She looks at the was it Quandary, right? That was
Yeah.
the name of the. If I wanted to awaken a group of people so they could see what we see, is there a way to do that on a mass scale?
Madness awakens many.
Wait. Instead of madness, earlier you said to me that lies are pretty hefty. They don't have to 100% believe it's real. How do we do that without driving people to the brink of insanity, perhaps?
How have you been doing it all along? How have you influenced and changed the opinions of so many among the masses?
Me?
any of you. Public opinion flows like water through your hands every day in the lightning that you send across the world. How can you change minds and hearts?
I don't know. It's just a tough sell. Kind of a tough sell.
Uh,
Get him to
Val-
believe that I'm funny and kind and nice and
I
cool
think-
and do all these fun things, but
Yeah,
that's
Val is
There
while this is
is.
going. Sorry.
I,
Go ahead. Sorry.
I want to make sure you get to do your thing, but I will say that there is somebody that we were going to meet who's trying to turn the minds of a lot of people.
And for me, I just want people to
Maybe that
leave
could
me
be
alone.
Directed.
I could give him a platform.
Yeah.
Val's staring at her phone, going through some things. Not really like looking up at any of you. So what are we trying to accomplish here? We hate nuns now or something? What's happening?
We can
I need an
say
angle.
that they're being angels of mercy. I don't know. Make up something about the hospital and I don't know.
Do we want
I
what whose side are we on here? What do we want destroyed?
kinda
Ideally, I don't want
like
anything
Ethel.
destroyed, but
Oh well.
To get
right,
the labyrinth.
Minotaurs are fighting the nuns, the crows. But I think we should just get this. I guess we're gonna have to get this to that building and do this.
I will say it was the old woman who killed our buddy there. And
Yeah.
if
I mean, I'm not
anything,
fond of them. I'm not gonna start wishing people dead over this. I didn't even wish.
is she
Liam-
people?
I didn't even. Liam burned down my home, and I'm not gonna wish him dead.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that.
Oh yeah.
But I know we gotta. This is gonna be nuts. Okay. Laurel, do you think that your Minotaur friends, by the way, I'm sure they've got access to weaponry. They probably will need to.
Well, one of
They
them
probably
is
have a-
on the police force. Two of them
Yeah.
are actually.
So, yeah. I was actually kind of wondering if they have a forge, because apparently the nuns will won't stand up to that necessarily, according to what Quandria's told us.
I could ask, but they've already started beating drums.
Yeah, I mean, they're
and
already on their
so
way. It's just more of a backup thing. They might want to think about using steel, I guess, if this is going to happen. But I don't know.
hang on, wait a second. I have an idea. And then Laurel's gonna walk up to the sculpture, and be like, what resources do we have within this labyrinth?
The resources of heart and mind. Can you dream? Can you envision?
I can envision a big hot fire in a forge. Could you point me where that is? Like illuminate me here? Drop a pin? I know you've got all kinds of powers.
If you dream it, perhaps you'll see it.
And then Laurel leans over to Chris. Do they dream metaphorically or actually? Because I do be sleeping. I could probably make a forge manifest right beneath us if I wanted to.
Yeah.
Maybe?
I don't think we necessarily have time to. I don't have time to make a sword right now. I don't think, if this is happening. This is just sort of pointing out the window. But
Get you a sword. It's just a matter of what.
that's not going to be a problem. But I was just thinking, you might want to tell your pals that maybe metal is going to work against the crows. I can't believe I'm talking about this. Can we just get this we just need to get this to that building and figure this out there.
Wait, do you even need a sword if your hands are metal?
I'm not going to kill anybody,
I'm not saying kill.
but
Make tired.
I don't know what the hell these are now, but we'll figure this out. I'm actually just sort of looking out the window and just sort of trying to figure this out. Is this a thing where we could... Do I feel as though it would be safe to drive there, or do I feel as though it would be safer to go there by labyrinth?
You know, it's kind of a 50-50. Fuckery on both sides.
Yeah. So, I mean, we could get there either. We can drive back there, or we could take the labyrinth. I feel as though we didn't want to go into the labyrinth, so it might be better to drive there.
I
What do
feel
you
like
folks
there's a
think?
lot going on
I
outside.
want a sword. I need to sort of not be in the labyrinth.
Uh,
And I can make a
Yeah.
call.
yeah, it's hard. Yeah. And also, if you want to start influencing people, I don't think it's going to be as easy to do it from down there. Unless you want to show them some really messed up shit. If you want to give, Max, if
Some
you want to give your
services.
friend ammunition, then we could go down there and get some. But I guess it just depends on what you want to do.
She's pulled her computer out and she's typing away and she's like, okay, I'm hosting him.
Oh, shit.
His message is going out to every one of my subscribers right now. I sent out an email blast. I sent out notifications. Everyone's tuning in. And all I said was, he's got a point, you know.
As you say that, the room begins to get cold. The AC turns on, and then it lowers and lowers again. Quickly, degrees by second. As a gentleman in a ice blue suit and rime on their wingtip shoes appears in the room behind all of you. And we'll wrap there.
Oh, boy.
Do. Everything's fine.
I'm sure everything's going to be just fine. Wow. Okay. Yeah. So first off, this is awesome. This is a hell of a thing. Also, sorry if I seem to be dithering toward the end. I just realized there were a lot of threads. I was trying to figure out,
Trying to pull them together for sure.
trying to figure out what the hell we're gonna do here.
My bad. I made it very complicated.
Oh no,
I mean-
Love it.
Yeah, shit happens.
yeah, it does. It does. I think actually it's very realistic that people suddenly thrown into something like this would try to figure out what would be stumbling around
Yes.
trying to figure out what to do.
Our final card for the night, Astaroth.
boy.
This is a great sign. We have like what 2 sessions left, and
Yep.
this is great.
Yep.
Yeah.
Oof.
Excellent.
I was
All right.
about to ask Max to punch my character in the face so that he could force a sleep. I was really close. I was really close. Because I know Max is going through it. Just hit me.
Oh my god.
I was about to make a fucking TikTok for my millions of followers to go kill a nun. So
Oh my god.
I mean, it's fine.
Some
Do
of
it
them,
like an
some
interpretive
of them probably would have
dance.
done it.
Ugh.
This is mad and epic, and this is glorious, and I love it. We're gonna go ahead then, and we're gonna go around and do our outros. So let's and as we're careening toward something, and feel free to tell folks where they can find you and any thoughts you have, any other thoughts you have about this session or anything you like. And we are going to start once again with our storyteller Hollow.
Yeah, I had a great time. You can find me on Twitter at Hollow Invective, and I've just been having a fantastic time running this game and staying loose and flexible while also having a plan. But it's really all about player agency for me, and really making sure that people have their time to shine and are able to do stuff while also weaving together this narrative about community building, but also about how communities can be toxic, also how communities can can make or break a city.
Yep. Awesome storytelling. Awesome. Did you get to plug your? Did anything you wanted to plug or anything?
Oh yeah, you can find me every other Wednesday on Majestic Goose Network. This coming Wednesday, in fact, for Crits and Knits, which is a D&D actual play show. We also do a podcast every other week as well. We are all geriatric adventurers on our last hurrah, and we are all members of a knitting guild. And we talk about knitting in the first half, and we play D&D in the second half.
So
Yay.
cute.
Awesome. Thanks so much for this. This is great. And so we're going to now go around to Kortney.
Yeah, I'm having a wonderful time. I was Laurel today and always, but now Great Horn. Good job, team. I also play adventure games online and like other stuff that kind of tickles my fancy. My next stream is tomorrow where we're playing Lonesome Village. You should follow me on Twitch or else. I've been wanting to do that this whole time. I'm so sorry.
No need to apologize. That's awesome.
That's the one joke I got. I don't stream with my face often, so this is a rare treat for you. Is all of this. I'm a PNG tuber, and I also work in games. I work at Miscellaneum Studios. We're working on our first video game release. It's called Distraction Machine. You can wishlist that on Steam if you're interested. It's a game about navigating a zombie apocalypse through the power of music. You learn a little bit of music composition. You solve puzzles. You fulfill favors for people in the community, and the music you decide to create and the people you decide to help can either hinder or uplift those in your city, which is pretty cool. I do my best every day, and I'm nervous for the future. I did not mean to embolden a bunch of cops, but here we are.
Only 2 cops and then a bunch of baby minotaurs. It's fine.
Well, 2 cops is still a bunch of cops as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah.
It only takes one.
Too many.
Yeah. So here comes the Minotaur and Pig Uprising. Oops.
And Bear Pig.
And if you haven't noticed by now, I love splitting the party. So I can't be trusted, but I'm having a great time.
None of you can be trusted.
No. Yeah, that's fair. You have did you get to plug your stuff?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Sparkly kiss on everything.
Awesome. All right. And now over to Katy.
I'm so sorry, viewers. I accidentally closed Google Meets. I'm the worst. I'm Katy. You can find me everywhere on the internet at KatyFace. On the same alternating weeks as this game, I am over on Friends Who Roll Dice, playing Monster of the Week game, Camp Carnage. It will be this Thursday. It's also my birthday, and I'm hoping I don't die on my birthday. Whatever. It's fun. It's fine. It's cool. I'm in the room alone with a maybe vampire. I don't know. I asked for it. But I'm also a professional GM. I'm going to be posting pretty soon a game of John Hopper's Lady Blackbird, a short little campaign to run maybe into the new year. So keep a lookout for that. But anything that I do, I post on my Twitter before you have to contact me via carrier pigeon. I'll be there when it crashes and burns, baby, just like the band on the Titanic.
Also, happy birthday.
Thanks.
Yes.
I'm turning 30 again.
Congratulations.
That's
I've been
great.
29 for the last 4 years. 3 years. I can't do math. I'm sorry. I'm terribly gay.
I hit the 17th anniversary of my I think of that birthday if I'm counting correctly. But did you have any final thoughts about the session that you?
I'm so glad to be back. Like I know we only have like a couple of episodes left, so I'm really excited to see how things ramp up. I am fully ready to go full con artist, as we said earlier. So we'll see.
Excellent. And finally over to Marlo.
Hi, I'm Marlo. I've been playing Max Collins, and you can find me on Twitter as well, if you would like. It's at Marlo Bogwitch. Check me out there. I post anything that I do. I'm not doing a whole lot right now because I'm doing too much in my personal life. It's too much. Once that's over, maybe beginning of next year, I'll be able to be back on some things. Maybe we'll see. But you can find me. The only thing I'm doing right now is this. I think I've got some things lined up, something else lined up in December, maybe. But I don't really know yet. I gotta follow up. And then I have you can find me always over at Misconceptions Podcast Network. I am on 2 shows over there. One of them's on a indefinite hiatus. At Sins of the Father, we are kids looking for our missing fathers. It's a 5e game. The stats are lowered. It's dire. These kids get in some situations, but they are sweet and they are good. And then we also are on Tales to Inspire. We just recorded the finale for that, and it's an alternate history game, superheroes. It uses an augmented worlds and perils system. We took some things from Avatar Legends because it was like there were some things that we thought could use some improvement with the system. So they're reworking all of it. Second season, I think it's going to be something else entirely they've come up with on their own. Anyway, alternate history, superheroes. We are set in the 1940s in the first season, so we are punching Nazis, always in the mood to do something like that. And we have royally screwed up history. That's all I'm going to say. That's the most I can say about it, but it's pretty bad. It's real bad.
All right.
But it'll be good. It's good. Other than that, yeah, that's it. That's all I've got going on. Oh, and from the game, I am very excited to see what platforming this conspiracy theorist guy is gonna do to the world / city / everything. Because Max may have done a bad. I don't know.
Everyone is capable of great harm and great good. Sometimes
So
it's both.
excited. Conspiracy era, let's go.
I actually just kind of love that we're sort of lashing out and doing things randomly because we're all panicking, except for Valerie.
Did we expect any less?
Who's like the only calm
chill.
one.
I'm chill. I already know that I have to die. I have a time limit. Why would I stress now? I'm chill. I got nothing.
We're all like the rest of us are all just going like in 90 random directions.
It is literally the gift from Community of Troy walking in with the pizza to everything on fire. That's literally Val in this situation.
Perfect. Yes.
Yeah. She's cool.
Awesome. Brilliant. I love this game. All right. Well, yeah, very much looking forward to this. We are back in 2 weeks. Yes. Is that good? All right. We are back in 2 weeks for this. In the meantime,
I will be on a holiday vacation, just as a warning.
Ooh, yeah, that's true.
It is Thanksgiving week.
That's true. We have
right, Bird Day.
We have
Bird Day.
We do have Bird Day coming up. So for those of you who do be careful if you are preparing turkeys, do not apply nitroglycerin directly to the turkey's surface, as it will make it cook faster, but at great cost. So don't do that. But
perhaps consider catering.
Yes. If you're at that point that you think you want to start getting creative with chemistry to cook the turkey faster, then consider a caterer, because that's probably going to result in fewer explosions. That said, I'm Jim Ryan. You can find me at OtherDoc on both Twitch and Twitter. My website is jimyesthatjim.com, where you can find my Geek Observation podcast and links to my various other podcasts, audio dramas, writings, and such. I have links down below to my website, Twitter, YouTube channel, and various other things. I'm going to be trying out some other social media thingies very soon, and so I have a pinned tweet right now on my Twitter if you want to go and look. I finally signed the demon contract and got a LinkedIn. Not LinkedIn. I do have a LinkedIn. I made a link tree, and so that is that now has a bunch of things on it for folks who want to see where my various medias are. And I'm going to try new ones as well, and I will add them to it. But anyway, that said, here, this channel, tomorrow, Dune is coming back. We're starting our Dune narrative, Dune Adventures in the Imperium, the story of House Versailles is, we are pretty much going to be, we've made this delightful, noble house that's business is essentially, they totally are all about teaching people the arts. They have art academies on multiple worlds now, and they're absolutely not secretly aspiring. So that's absolutely what that house is about, and I'm very much looking forward to seeing how we navigate that. On Friday, we resume our overall narrative of Don't Rest Your Head. The Friday group in our Don't Rest Your Head campaign, the Friday narrative currently, the current arc is for Fridays is called The Outer Veil. So we're going to kick off that narrative, and I'm very much looking forward to that, seeing how they get into the Mad City. We had one group do it on Monday. We're having another group do it on Friday, and we'll see how things happen in that world. Very much looking forward to that. Then this Sunday, we're going to have a post-mortem for the Invisible Sun game that wrapped a few weeks ago. I was running that for like 3 years. And we're going to do a Q&A. Pope will be showing up to do his thing that he does, where he'll do his Inside the Actor Studio thing, where he'll be asking a bunch of us questions. And I will be I'm very much looking forward to just chatting about all the various things to unravel about that campaign. So looking forward to that a lot. And then, of course, back around to Monday, where we have the other Don't Rest Your Head group, the Inner Circle. And so that will be happening next week. And like I said, this game of KULT will be resuming, hopefully, in 2 weeks. And very much looking forward to that as well. Because there's so much. Well, when we hit the end card, I'm gonna throw a raid over to Lindy on Laugh Love Lindy. They are playing Stargate, so we're gonna go over there and say hi. Feel free to hang on if you're so inclined and say hi to them with us. That again will be when we hit the end card. In the meantime, thank you all very much for watching. Take care, and we will catch you next time. Farewell.